G'day guys, we're back again and we're in the shed tinkering with a TTR250 big bore again. What we're doing today is we're going to lighten the flywheel. There's a fair bit involved with lightening the flywheel on these things. It's not simple. It's not an easy machine job by any means, not like say an XR250 flywheel where you just throw it in the lathe and just grind away. The TTRs are actually quite a complicated little flywheel. And just a little bit about lightening flywheels and why we do that. The more rotating mass that we've got, the slower the engine takes to spool up and get to whatever RPM you're chasing. So why does that matter? Well, I guess in a situation where you want a little bit faster pickup and response, the lighter the rotating mass, the better. The downside is you do lose a little bit of torque, which is when you're sort of starting to go up a hill or you're needing just that little bit of grunt out of the machine. It just holds on like a turbo diesel, hangs on a little bit longer before you got to change down. So in the past, just with modifications over the years we've done to XR250s, a standard XR250 doesn't really like a lightened flywheel. You just lose far too much torque for what you gain in your pickup. However, an XR310 build, which we've done so many of, and if you've got an XR250 out there, the 310 build is beautiful. You don't, because you've got so much more torque, lightening your flywheel really changes the characteristics of your bike, and it's great. Recommend it. So, on the TTR, it's a massive flywheel. It's massive. You've got your sprag clutch on the back of the flywheel. When we machine these, I always machine these with the sprag clutch attached, because that's part of, obviously take it out, remove your bearing, put it back on, because that's sort of part of it. There's so much meat on that. I lose a lot of meat off that. Also, I machine a lot of meat off the outside of the flywheel here, obviously staying inside your pickup there, your pickup magnet. Need to be very careful, because you'll notice these indentations pressed into the skin. What that's for is it pushes into the magnets and stops the magnets from moving, aka all the early Huskies, the TE410s, TE610s were synonymous for doing that and then chucking your timing out. Yeah, so we're going to measure it up and lighten it up. Now, why are we doing this on the 325 TTR? Well, the TTR 325 has got so much torque, it's not funny now. It is so unbelievable. And the pickup is still really, really good, but there's more. And that's what I'm going for. There's always more. And I've got a little surprise coming for you guys in a video coming up. Actually, I'll tell you what it is. Subscribe right now and we'll see. I'll let you know. Righto, subscribe. Do it. Did it? Right. I've got an XR310, which I built for a customer. Ported head, flat slide carb, big bore header, performance CDI, cams, XR's only exhaust system from the state. Beautiful bike, flies. And we're going to put the TTR 325 up against it. Not on the dyno, not where your figures and stuff happen. We're talking out in the bush. Two riders, we're going to get stuck into it. We're going to swap over and have a chat about it. I already know what's going to happen. You guys have got no idea. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Well, we'll see. So that's a surprise coming up for you. It'll be a couple of weeks before I can finish getting all that together. So let's measure the weight pre-machining, and I pretty much know what this is going to be because I've done this a few times. Now I also know how much to take out as well, because when we first started doing these, we sacrificed a flywheel to be able to see how thick things are and how much we can do. Right, okie dokes. Set him up in grams. Should be 2040. All right, so 2033, pretty close. 2033 grams, so that's 2 and a bit kilos of rotating mass. Wow, that's pretty bloody heavy. That's nearly as heavy as the actual crankshaft of the TTR. So for your American people over there, we're going to change that into pounds. So that's 4 pounds, 7.7 ounces. Okie dokes. I'm going to hit the lathe and I'll be back and then we'll tell you what we ended up with. Stay tuned and subscribe. Alright, so we're back from machining the flywheel and so let's have a look. 1784 grams, so 2033 grams, take away 784 equals 250 grams gone. That's 1/4 of a kilo. And you can actually feel the difference. So, if you have a look here, I've machined a little bit off the front here. That's been machined for a while. We just needed to know how big that skin was there. So, as you can see, we've machined a fair bit off there. Machined a fair bit off the clutch on the back, the sprag clutch. Especially if you can sort of see the standard one. I don't know if you can actually see that. There's a fair bit missing. And we took a bit off, I don't know if you can see that, took a bit off the rivets as well. So all up 250 grams, and believe me, it makes a big difference. So try it. Off the front, you're good to go off the front there. I don't like to take too much off where that little indentation is there. Past that point there, you're kind of asking for trouble with your magnet slipping. A little tiny bit off, just off the back, but it's actually you can't take too much because it's a band. A fair bit off your clutch carrier there. As you can see, we've taken a fair bit off, machined down the section around there where the bolts were not protruding through, so that was all wasted metal, and some on the inside. All right, see ya.